Quick question. Have you ever covered your mouth while whispering something to a friend so nobody else could lip read it? Congratulations. If you did that on a football pitch this summer, you'd be walking down the tunnel before you finished the sentence. At the 2026 World Cup, doing this one simple, instinctive thing will get you a straight red card. No warning, no yellow card first. Just an early shower and a ruined tournament. Football has just added its weirdest, most controversial law yet. It's not a new handball rule. It's not an adjustment to offside. It is a rule that punishes a simple hand gesture with the harshest card in the sport. And once you hear the absolute chaos it's causing, you'll understand why FIFA didn't mess around, and why the game will never be the same. To understand why this World Cup has descended into red card madness, we have to go back to a cold night in February 2026. It was a crucial Champions League playoff match, Real Madrid against Benfica. Vinicius Júnior, one of the best players on the planet, and a guy who has spent years battling horrific racial abuse, gets squared up by Benfica's winger, Gianluca Prestianni. Prestianni leans in and says something directly to him. But here is the trick. He has his shirt pulled up over his mouth while he speaks. Nobody in the stadium can read his lips. The broadcast microphones can't catch it. It is just his word against Vinícius's. Play stops for 10 agonizing minutes. Vinícius is furious, telling the referee he was racially abused. Because of that covered mouth, UEFA's disciplinary investigators were left completely in the dark. There was zero video proof, but then came the twist. Because there was no hard evidence, Prestianni's defense team panicked. To avoid the massive racism charge, Prestianni actually admitted to using a homophobic slur instead. He was eventually hit with a 6-match ban, but football had officially exposed a terrifying loophole. It was the perfect crime. Say whatever toxic thing you want, cover your mouth, and nobody can ever prove it. FIFA President Gianni Infantino decided he had seen enough. 2 months later, the International Football Association Board, the group that actually writes the rules of the game, held a special meeting in Vancouver. They unanimously passed a new law. Informally, the media is calling it the Vinicius Law. Officially, it declared that if any player uses their hand, arm, or shirt to cover their mouth during a confrontational situation with an opponent, the referee has the power to show a straight red card. Infantino summed up the entire philosophy in one brutal line. If you do not have something to hide, you don't hide your mouth when you say something. It sounds like a great mic drop quote. But in reality, it means football just built an entire disciplinary rule around vibes. The referee doesn't have to hear what you said. They don't have to prove you insulted anyone. They just have to decide if you looked guilty while saying it. Fast forward to the World Cup in June, where the rule was officially put into play. Somebody had to be the first victim of the new law, and that honor went to Paraguay's Miguel Almirón. During a heated group stage match against Turkey, Almirón got into it with Turkish defender Mert Müller. In the heat of the moment, Almirón instinctively slapped a hand over his mouth mid-sentence. Referee Ivan Barton didn't hesitate for a second. He marched over and pulled out a straight red card. It was the first dismissal of its kind in World Cup history. But the drama didn't stop there. In the round of 16, Ecuador's Piero Hincapié spent the second half jawing with Mexico's Santiago Giménez. In the 95th minute, with literally seconds left on the clock, Hincapié covered his mouth one too many times during an argument. The referee sent him packing. Ecuador lost, and their World Cup run ended because of a defensive hand gesture. This is where the rule becomes a massive tactical minefield. Players have covered their mouths for decades to share tactical instructions, organize set pieces, or whisper defensive markings without giving them away to opposing cameras. Under the new law, tactical whispering is technically still allowed. But deciding the exact millisecond a tactical whisper morphs into a confrontational situation is completely subjective. Take England's Jude Bellingham. In a high-stakes match against Ghana, Bellingham did the exact same gesture. He brought his hand up, covered his mouth, and spoke directly to Jordan Ayew. The whistle blew, but there was no red card. Why? Because the referees ruled that his gesture was not done in a confrontational manner. So now we have a rule that is supposed to be black and white, but in reality, it runs entirely on referee discretion. If a referee likes you, it's a friendly chat. If the referee thinks you look aggressive, you are sent to the locker room. But here is the ultimate kicker. The plot twist nobody saw coming. UEFA, the very organization that runs the Champions League where the Vinícius and Prestianni incident happened, looked at FIFA's brand new World Cup rule and completely rejected it. Just a few days ago, UEFA announced that for European club competitions, players will not automatically receive a red card. Instead, referees are instructed to assess it as unsporting behavior, and only hand out a yellow card. Think about how ridiculous that is. The exact gesture, by the exact same player, is a tournament-ending straight red card in June under FIFA, but a minor yellow card in October under UEFA. So what has football actually achieved with this rule? They didn't find a way to stop players from exchanging toxic insults. Instead, they just outlawed the cover-up. FIFA didn't make the game cleaner. They just gave referees an incredibly subjective, incredibly powerful new weapon to completely decide the outcome of a match. The question isn't whether players will stop talking trash. The question is, who is going to lose a World Cup final because their hand accidentally drifted up to their face? What do you think? Is this rule a brilliant way to clean up the dark arts of the game? Or is FIFA completely ruining the sport by punishing a basic gesture? Drop your take in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.